Welcome to Dark Knight Films Reviews and another Hammer Productions night. Tonight, I will be reviewing Daleks Invasion Earth 2150 AD, released in 1966. Directed by Gordon Flemyng, from a script by Milton Subotsky, starring Peter Cushing, Bernard Cribbins, Ray Brooks, Andrew Keir, Roberta Tovey, Jill Curzon, Eddie Powell, and Godfrey Quigley. Now, this is the sequel to Doctor Who and the Daleks, in a way. For whatever reason, you got Doctor Who back, you got Susan, as played by Roberta Tovey, back, but for whatever reason, Barbara and Ian are completely missing, and there's no explanation of where they are and why they're not in this film. And instead of having those two in here, we have Bernard Cribbins as this Constable Tom Campbell and a niece to Doctor Who, for some reason, of Jill Curzon's Louise. Now, I don't understand why you would do that, but it really does hurt what they started already with the previous film, even though I wasn't a big fan of what they did with Doctor Who in the original film. Taking what you've established and then just throwing away two of the characters that were already established and introducing two new ones, it doesn't make much sense. The Daleks as villains in this, they're a little bit more improved and more threatening because they do kill a lot more people than just one frickin' person in here. But by the end of it, it's the same bullshit where they are able to be vanquished fairly easy. You just shove them down a wide area where it goes downward, and they just fly down there and just explode. And yet, this one character, Godfrey Quigley's Dortmund, is trying to set up this whole thing where he says these bombs will work on them. They will destroy them. We can stop them with these bombs. And they throw them at these Daleks, and they don't faze them. Oh, those don't faze them, but yet you can just grab them and swing them around and slide them, and they'll slide into and fall down holes and shit. So that they're not very threatening as villains. Now, one thing I do kind of like, but there's a negative to that one too, with this version of the Daleks, is they have this robotizing procedure that they go through on human characters and turn them into robot brainwashed slaves to them that do all that they command. But that could have been an interesting and cool element to add to this, to where if they put these characters that were siding with the rebels against the Daleks, and they set them into this chamber, and it turns them into brainwashed minions to them, and they look like themselves, they can infiltrate into the ranks of the rebels and help the Daleks to bring them down. They are not like that. They dress them in these rubber suits, and they end up putting these goofy looking helmets on them that make them apparent that they are the robot servants to the Daleks. And it's just such a waste of a good idea in here, and it's only done on men. You've got this character of Jill Curzon's Louise, and maybe even Susan, I don't know, brainwash the little girl and get her to, go back to the rebels and report back to them. I mean, it could have been done, but they just do it on these guys, and they put these goofy looking helmets on them, and they're just apparent that they are servants to the Daleks. So there's no infiltrations that they could have done with this story idea. It could have been a great story idea, but it fails in the way it's executed in this film, unfortunately. And then we get our supporting actors around Peter Cushing, who's pretty damn good as Doctor Who in this once again. However, he's not Doctor Who. He may dress similar to what we expect from Doctor Who, and they may have the TARDIS, they may have the villains of the Daleks in this, but most of this, just like the previous film, does not feel like Doctor Who to me. The story is just written in a way that just does not feel Doctor Who. And my favorite Doctor Who is the Tom Baker years. I absolutely grew up on him, and I absolutely loved him as Doctor Who. I think a lot of people, Tom Baker was their favorite. So I'm not in the minority on that one, at least. But as I was saying, the rest of the cast around Peter Cushing in this is, as I said before, Bernard Cribbins is in this, and it's really cool to get to see him reunite with Peter Cushing, because they actually worked together on She for Hammer. And I will say this about Amicus. I think they do Sci-Fi, from what I've seen, a little bit better than what Hammer does. But the rest of the cast here is Ray Brooks is playing a character named David, who's with the rebels against the Daleks. And then, of course, you have Andrew Keir as Wyler, another rebel character. And they are really nice characters in here. Ray Brooks as David is more of the stouch, just tough hero kind of kid and everything, and he's willing to do whatever he has to do to try and save people and help people and stuff, and he's a really good character. And then, of course, Andrew Keir, always excellent in any role he plays, is very good as the character of Wyler, and I really love his scenes with Roberta Tovey. They have a really good little working chemistry, working together, and they have a lot of scenes together. Now, I heard that Peter Cushing was ill during this film and couldn't film as much as he was scripted to have done, but watching this thing, it just doesn't feel that way. I mean, there's no moments where it feels like he had to be written out of scenes because he's not there, he's not available. I mean, because he's through this film just as much as he was, in my opinion, as the original movie in this. So I don't understand that, but that's what it was said. But maybe Bernard Cribbins' character didn't have as much screen time in it originally. He wasn't doing as much actively as he ends up doing in this version, or whatever. Or maybe even the Andrew Keir and Roberta Tovey stuff maybe wasn't in the original script, and they added it to cover for Peter Cushing not being fully available throughout the whole film. But whatever, it doesn't feel like he's missing from this film. He feels like he's still there all throughout it. But my final review for Daleks Invasion Earth 2150 AD, what a moniker of a title. But I'm going to give this film a 8.5 out of 10. I think it's about equal with the original movie. Still not my Doctor Who. But what do you guys think of this film? Do you agree with my review? Do you disagree? Let me know in those comments down below. And as usual, if you enjoyed this video, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to click that bell icon so you can be notified about future videos just like this one. And while you're by the subscribe button, click that join button and become a Dark Knight fan. As a Dark Knight Fan Plus member, you have access to an area on the channel where you can request a movie, TV series, or ranking video of your choosing. And when that video goes up, it will go up for all Plus members prior to it going up for all other subscribers. So if you want to get interactive and help me to get more movies, TV series, or ranking videos on this channel that I might not normally cover on here, become a Plus member. Well, that's it for another Hammer Productions Night. If you missed last week's Hammer Productions Night, check out the link up here to get caught up on that one. Or if you missed any of the other Hammer Productions Night, be sure and check out the playlist right here to get caught up on any of them that you have missed.